Thank you. Stacy?
Hi, I'm an impromptu speaker and didn't realize I would even be speaking till just an hour ago. I think others will express it better, but we're here in support of our community cats and working with our animal shelter. Before the pandemic, you had a pretty good program going. It was so popular, I would find people there as early as 4 a.m. in the morning with their neighborhood cats. These are feral cats. These are not your pets. And they were part of the trap, neuter, and release program. And 4 a.m. says something, because you have to get up even earlier than that to catch the cats. In my neighborhood, I've taken over feeding and caring for some of these cats. And at $95 for a female, and $60-some for a male to get them spayed or neutered. If you can get in, you show up there the day at the vet's, and if he can, he'll fit you in. I'm just one person. There must be at least 30 cats there. And we really depend on, I think, community support here for our community cats. I know the pandemic put a stop to all that. We have fallen way behind in accommodating our citizens and our volunteers and our animal shelter personnel. And I'd like to urge you to please consider bringing our program up to par with other counties. I believe their SPCA stepped in to help out. If you need to do that again, please go ahead and engage with them and help bring our community standard and our care for these cats back up to what it was before the pandemic. It's way outdone me. We have cats on the roof. I take care of the ones that get hit by cars. Most of my income now, I've cut back to spay and neuter on my own. And I know a lot of other people are in this position, and they would do more if community resources were open to them. So I'd like to ask for your help in this and your support in this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cindy Milford?
Good evening, and I am very glad that I can be here to tell you about somebody. I want you to imagine that you're a compassionate 80-year-old grandmother, whom I'll call L. You and your 83-year-old husband both retired after decades of working for the federal government. You've lived in a modest home in North Stockton for 30 years. You both have health issues and poor balance, and you use walkers or canes at all times. You both would be considered physically fragile. Your daughter and grandkids live on another continent, so you lack hands-on family support, but you have good friends, especially in your church community. Now, if you a tiny homeless cat, a feral cat, came into your yard and gave birth to a litter. A former workplace friend found a cat rescue lady who took the babies and found them homes. You lost contact with her, but her large metal cage remained on your patio. The top of it became the feeding station where you would place a bowl of dry food for the mama kitty. After she ate, you'd bring the food in so other cats wouldn't be attracted. You had her spayed so she couldn't have more kittens, but you couldn't bring mama into the house because you and your husband might trip over her. Continue imagining. Less than a year ago, another mother cat appeared and began carrying her 5 adorable babies, one at a time, into your yard. Now 2 cats were eating from the bowl of mama kitty food. People told you to stop them, stop buying their food so that they'd leave. What? The new mama had to eat to be able to nurse her babies. And you are so compassionate, you just couldn't not feed them. You physically couldn't trap the cats either to get them spayed or neutered. Finally, imagine that 1 male and 4 female babies have grown into teenagers, quite capable of reproducing, and they certainly have. In the last 10 weeks, 3 litters have been born. That's 15 babies. Now 20 cats are eating several pounds of food daily from the food bowls. And these are pounds of food that you are buying on your limited budget. A church friend is trying to trap a few cats at a time, but a big tomcat sometimes enters the yard to mark his territory. You can stop imagining. I am Elle's church friend. With the help of my son, I trapped 3 cats last week. And I was able to get them fixed at a local $40 a surgery donation-supported spay and neuter clinic.
Thank you, ma'am. That concludes your time.
Okay. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say that that is a great service and that our city should be doing, that I don't have to collect money to get it done, and that we would not want to have teenage cats becoming mothers, and compassionate grandmothers should get the help they deserve.
Thank you. Iwa Dozier.
My name is Eva Dozier, and I am here as a citizen of the city, concerned and hoping that the matter I am going to present will be addressed soon, and that together we will bring positive change and improvement. Maybe you know or don't know, there is a really feral and stray cat crisis in Stockton. Colonies of feral and stray cats are almost at every parking lot, every park, industrial and residential neighborhoods. The problem of growing feral and stray cat colonies intensifies every spring. When not fixed, cats engage in mating behaviors, which involve marking the territory, fighting over females, creating annoying noises, hurting each other, and in result producing more cats. Local shelter and non-profit organizations fills up in a blink of an eye. Kittens are found everywhere. Fosters are working along with the shelter to save the kittens, treat wooden cats, or just stop the run over streets. What's the solution? TNR, trap, neuter, return. It is crucial to have this program running full time. Right now, the Stockton Animal Shelter offers to spay or neuter 50 cats per month. To get an appointment, people line up at 4 hours before opening and are required prepay for the service, not knowing if they will be even able to trap a cat. On top of it, the fee is not refundable. 50 cats per month. Average colony from my personal observation is about 15-20 cats. I know about 10 feral colonies along March Lane. Just on this one long street, about 200 feral cats. Please do the math. In this tempo, 50 cats per month, we will never solve the problem. I know many people who devote their time, money to spay and neuter. We drive to Modesto and Sacramento to fix cats, to prevent mass growth, but we will never be able to succeed if we are not able to do it here in Stockton. I wrote to Stockton Mayor Lincoln, to Animal Protection League, to shelter manager about how desperately we need TNR to be easily accessible for people of Stockton. The community is willing to cooperate, help, and volunteer. We are already taking the load of Stockton Animal Shelter, trapping, delivering for surgeries, post-op caring, returning. We are doing a big part in this whole project of controlling the population of abandoned and feral cats in Stockton. We want to make life in our town safer and more enjoyable. We cannot do it ourselves. We need to cooperate. That's why I ask, please extend, improve, provide better TNR for Stocktonians now by creating for services at Stockton Animal Shelter. Thank you.
Thank you. Nancy Bellett.
Thank you for listening. My topic is pretty much on the same topic that has been talked about, just a slightly different version. Feral cats and their volunteers need help. We need support. I don't know how many cats I have trapped in since I've lived in Stockton. There was a time when it was a bit easier. You could trap a cat and bring them in. Then the history, let me just briefly give you a history. I happened to come across these clippings that I made in 2014 when a woman moved back to the community. She had done volunteer work in animal shelter in Kentucky, had no-kill shelter. Stockton at the time had kill. Almost everything brought in was killed. And she helped organize, finally, bringing in a lawsuit. I'm not sure if she was the one that was brought in, but they brought it in with the Animal Defense League to improve, to stop this one-way street into the shelter. All animals basically were destroyed. We had a private citizen here in Stockton who wrote a letter to the editor about, her name was Rose Hilliard, and she opened ACT, Abandoned Cat Team, which was a low-cost spay and neuter clinic, which was wonderful. You could trap the cat and call and say, can I bring it in? And she'd say yes, and it was low cost. At least it was low cost. She had in 2012, I believe it was. Then the San Francisco SPCA was brought in to help organize, and they did a good job of doing that and handed it over finally to the Animal Protection League after 5 years. It was up and running and organized, and then of course COVID hit and the bankruptcy and a few other problems. And we need to get cats neutered, spayed. The lifestyle of a cat is at 6 months of age, they can go into heat. 2 months later, they can produce a litter of anywhere from 2 to 6 or sometimes more kittens. Those babies in 6 months can go into heat and have another litter of kittens. It's an impossible situation. You've got volunteers all over the city who are doing trap, neuter, and get them neutered or spayed. We've got to get that animal control organized. And some of the suggestions, this is coming from a fellow trapper who needs help. We need help, the animals need more help, the shelter workers need more help. Get organized. We need volunteers. You need to hire somebody to help with the animal control, to raise funds to get it organized and going. Thank you.
Thank you. Barbara Heiser.
Hi, I'm Barbara Heiser. I have lived in Stockton 75 years, and I love Stockton, and I love cats. I walk my neighborhood that I've lived in on Walnut Street probably not 75 years, 60 years, and have observed cats. Had years, and every year the population of the cats grows. I stop at people's homes that have kitties running around, and I say, can I help you trap them, spade them? And most of them are willing. And then I pay for it myself and take them someplace and have it done. But the feral cats, if you go out to Pixie Woods, there are so many, there must be hundreds of feral cats, and people feed them. But that just reproduces and reproduces. Along the way on Shimazu, on the way to Pixie Woods that I walk on, I've seen twice people come by in a pickup and dump babies out. They're just dumping them along the way. Now, the problem is huge, of course, we know. I would love to see more cooperation between the people who are concerned about cats and the animal shelter and the city to fund more the programs to help Thank you.
Thank you. Mason Yanowitz.
My name is Mason Yanowitz. I've lived in Stockton for 17 years, and I'm here again to express my support to increase the budget for the Trap, Neuter, and Return, or TNR program, the only humane and effective approach for community cats. This program allows Stockton residents to bring feral cats to animal services on designated days, and the cats will be neutered, ear-clipped, and vaccinated for rabies, then picked up by the resident and released back into the same neighborhood. Animal Control has made some positive changes to reinstate the TNR program. The new TNR program allows 20 to 25 TNR tickets to be sold twice a month for a scheduled date a few days after. The $30 fee has made it difficult for some people. I have witnessed people volunteering to help pay for others. Stockton is a very big city, and the limited TNR to 40 to 50 cats per month is not acceptable. The community cat population in Stockton has exploded because of the lack of TNR over the past few years. It's obvious that Animal Control is aware of this problem because when I recently called about a deceased cat on Fresno Avenue and 8th Street, I was told that they now only pick up dead animals once a week because they are overwhelmed with these calls. This deceased cat was in the road 1 block from an elementary school for 6 days after my call. A female cat can become pregnant as young as 16 weeks of age and go on to have 2 or 3 litters a year. The feral cat population and the problems associated with it grows and perpetuates. In 7 years, a single female cat and their kittens can produce 420,000, yes, 420,000 more cats. This number is quoted on WebMD. This compassionate city of Stockton can fix the problem by reinstating a working TNR program. Many volunteers, as you see, want to help. These volunteers have their own traps and are wanting to work with Animal Control to get more TNR done with less restrictions. Many of us have written letters to the mayor and council. We are simply requesting a more open line of communication so we can all work together to help our community cats. With proper TNR, you can stabilize the cat population humanely, improve cats' lives, save taxpayers' dollars, address neighborhoods' concerns, and help the entire community reach a solution that benefits everyone. Please, Mr. Mayor and Council, our community cats need your help. Please increase the funding and accessibility to the Trap, Neuter, and Return program and get the help they so desperately need. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeremiah Skaggs.